evening and welcome to Faces the Next Level. I'm your host, Valette Sunshine, and I'm so excited for you ladies to be here with me. I want to welcome Delon Thomas and Jolanda Smith. Y'all, thank you ladies for being here with me tonight.
Hello.
So tonight we are discussing all things relationships, and that means any and everything. And we want to know, I have a couple of perspectives. So we'll just hear what you guys have to say. I'll shoot you the questions, and you guys just let me have it, okay? So the first question I want to ask out the gate is, do you feel like women are too bullheaded? Are we just so aggressive that we won't allow the man to be the man in the house? Either one of you.
Go ahead. I answered the first time.
I don't think it's that hard. Yes, it's hard, but I think that we should give each other a chance. So I was willing to do that. Not always, because I guess it depends on what it is I'm looking for in that person at that time, too. Because I'm a lot. So, women have always been the backbone, in my opinion, because, I think it's a man's world, but a real woman makes it go round.
I agree.
I think that we really do hold some value. I'm going to just leave it at that.
Yeah. So I asked the question because I get a lot of men, in my inbox, and they say that, I'm a good man and I try really hard, and, I'm the protector and I'm supposed to be the provider, but the woman just, she has kids already, she's established, and it's so hard for her to come off that independent horse, right? And allow me to be the man. And I get that. What is your take, Delon?
Well, yeah, there are some women that are a little bit over they take it a little overboard. Like she said, it goes back to the independence thing, especially when you've been a single mom, for a long time. It's hard to kind of let go of those reins. But there are some women that take it overboard to where it makes the man feel less than a man, and no man wants to feel less than a man. Like, they don't want to feel like that. They want to be able to, assist you in certain ways. And if you don't let him, he's like, okay, well, what are you here for? And then
That's
there's,
right.
like I said, this day and age, it's a lot of independent women because of the position that we've been put in to be in that position, to be independent. So
right.
It's just, yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like...
How do they want to try, though, too? Like, if you know that she's a good woman, because I think sometimes we as women, when we've been in that position to be in control, I want somebody to fight for me. Not fight me, but fight for me. To say, hey, I'm with you, I got you, okay, yes, I may give you some space and some time, to allow us to see that that's really them. And whenever I say allow the space and the time, that don't mean you go and, share that time with another female. Is that you stay put and you still focus on me, but you still allow me that time to also see what it is I'm supposed to see in you too.
Right.
But I also think that vice versa to us as women is that we have to understand that sometimes men have been suppressed. Because like I said, I'm sorry, I don't look at my brothers no less than kings.
That's right.
And that's why I always want them to see themselves is that you a king, regardless of what you may be going through at this point in your life. There's always potential in everybody.
I feel like
building. So
right. I feel like that about women as well. We're queens, and
yes,
it's a lot of men they for sure have a mother and they have sisters, and they have to know, how to handle us. But in the same token, we should be women enough to be able to know how to handle the man, and if he's trying to be that provider and that protector genuinely, we need to give him that chance, because so often we lose out on a good man because we're so independent. We're so
Right.
aggressively saying that I got this. I've been paying these bills. I've been taking care of these kids, and I've been doing all this stuff. So really, if you want to be here, all I'm asking you to take care of me. But that a man needs to know. In order for it to be a real man, he wants responsibility of being that protector, being that provider. And if it's time you need, I really want you. So I'm gonna give you your time, and I'm not going nowhere. And
Right.
I kind of what Jolanda was saying.
Exactly.
Yeah. So then we talk about, on the other hand, I've seen a situation where the man, comes in, he's dating the kid's mom, hadn't met the kids yet, right? Because she's kind of protective. but the kids also have their dad, and they have that relationship with their dad. But then this man is coming in saying, at first, it's all good, but now it's time to mesh the family. Don't take your kids over to their daddy's house. Don't go pick them up from their daddy's house. Let him do it. You don't need to be doing. Do you agree that you don't need to? You've already had that set up with the father that I'll drop them off. You bring them home, or you bring them home, and I'll take. You guys have that arrangement. But now this man is saying, no. If he wants to see his kids, he need to make the arrangements. He need to come and get them. What do you think about that?
He shouldn't have any control over that, especially if you have an established relationship with the father and it's a good relationship and it's working out fine. It's not a problem. Then we leave it alone, because if you have problems between yourself and the child's father, that's going to eventually cause problems with you, the kids. It's like a domino effect. It's a domino effect to me. So I really think if he can't respect the system that you already have, if he wants to help out, maybe one day the dad can't go, and he offers to say, I can go get him for you. That should, if you have this trust with them, if you develop that type of relationship with them, and you trust them with your kids to go pick them up, that's fine. But if you don't know the person that well, and you just get to know him, he wants to try to step in and do some stuff, no, my system is working fine. But it's also a way that you say it to the man. Yeah. There's a way to address it. You don't come off like, moving your head and doing the finger and all that. That's right. You just let them understand, my kids, we have the system that, with their dad, everything is fine. If there's a time I need your help, I will, extend that to you, right. But don't come off like you just so, big and bad, like, right. Make him feel like he's this small, he's probably sinking in the chair as you saying it, like, it's just the way that you communicate to me.
Right. I agree. And so I want to talk about the maturity level, right, of men and women, because I think as women we mature quicker than men, but then I also think it's two-sided, right? So how do you handle, do we just cut them off because they hadn't gotten to where we are? Because I know we had a conversation before where it was like, I'm not taking care of another kid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He didn't act like that before you guys brought this family together, but now he's pouting because you got to take the kids and pick them up. And now he's pouting because of this or that. Do you believe, what about the maturity level in men and women, and how does that compare?
I do think we would mature a lot faster than men. And I even had my pastor tell me that when I was married and me and my husband had a situation that occurred. And he said that I didn't learn this and this. I was like 35, 36. And I said, what? I got to wait that long?
True.
And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I didn't know. And, you have to decide too, if certain things are deal breakers, because, like you said, nobody's perfect, right. Nobody's perfect. And this is a thing, can we grow together and build something together? Right. So no, I don't think you ought to disregard this thing, because again, it might be something that they need to adjust to. But this is also my take too, is at this day and time, how many of us are dating that don't already have kids anyway?
You're not going to find many women that don't have kids. That's just...
Or many men.
Or many men that don't. So then I want to go, I'm glad you brought that up, because my next question goes into us being so picky as women, we say, I want this, 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 and this in a man, and I want him to be this, and I don't want him to have kids. And if he has kids, they need to be grown, or he need, whatever the situation is. What about our pickiness? And do we miss our blessings from being so picky, Delon?
I think we do miss our blessings by being. I mean, you have a choice, but like I said, you got to pick your poison. You have to. I mean, you have to give in some areas. You can't have everything that you want in that person. It's not going to happen. And that man, men say that they're not picky, but yes, they are. They are picky too. But like I said, you have to pick your poison. Like I said, you want them tall, short, big, small, whatever. Good heart. Or is he just out in the streets, or is he a homebody, or this and that? You have to decide what it is that you want to deal with.
I think we have to be careful when we say being picky, because it's one thing when you're being really careful and you're saying, I want this man, I want him to have a good heart,
right,
and to first believe in God. And I like tall, but if he's not tall, that's okay. But, all these good qualities, and maybe you don't have, every, the looks and all that, but do we really need to, we do really need to look deep inside of them and say, what is their heart like? Because so many of us say, "Ooh, he don't look good," or "Ooh, look at his shoes," or "Look at his," what I'm saying. But the purest person, right?
Right.
First thing we look at, meet their teeth and their shoes, right?
Right. Yes.
And so, maybe you met him and he just got off of work and had his work shoes on or something.
Right. Hey.
You don't know, but what's inside his heart?
Exactly, because all this fades. You know what I mean? All this fades away. Are you still gonna love me the same way when I start getting these wrinkles and all this other stuff? You have to. I mean, hey, he may be strong and buff and stuff now, but when he starts falling off, or maybe an injury happens, and he can't work out like that anymore, is that gonna make you say, you know what, you're not, fit and strong and stuff anymore, so I gotta go? No. If he has a good heart, and you stick with it. It's not about the outer. And a lot of people now, this day and age, especially with all this social media and this and that, it's all about what somebody looks like and what they have and what they can do for me and all that stuff. It's like, what can he do for here? Seriously.
That's right. And Jolanda, you talked about, so you've been married before. And
yes, good.
And I've never been married, right? She's good. So, and I've never been married before.
Me either.
But I was brought up with both of my parents who were married for 50 years, and ups and downs, but really good, healthy relationship. Some women are not, the Bible even says that, we're supposed to succumb to our husband,
Right.
And some women are like, why you got to call him, and why you got to ask him, or why you got to do that? Well, my mom taught me that was respect for her husband, and he respected the same way. You were married, Jolanda. Tell us about it.
I did the same thing. Like I said before, it didn't matter if it was $5. It didn't matter if it was $10. I would call my husband and make sure that what I was doing was not a hindrance. And sometimes the things that I did, I might have been saying, hey, I found something that I like. It may cost this amount of money. Sometimes it would even be for him. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it would even be for the kids. But our money was going into the same pot. So, and he paid the bills. So, and I let him do that. That was one of the roles that he took on, that I felt like that, okay, this is what you're doing as the man of the household. So I don't know, maybe he didn't pay all the bills because maybe he had something else lined up for whatever, hopefully the betterment of the family. Right. But I don't know. So I'm going to ask you. And now, yeah, I went to work, and yes, I feel like I work hard for my money. And, even like I told him, hey, if there's something that you want to go do it. Because I also felt like, too, at the same time, you were who you were before we got together. You still have your likes. And, yes, I understand that you gave this part to this family. I don't feel like we should lose ourselves in a family or in a marriage. I think that we all should, we should understand that I'm still this person. And just because, and he would allow me to go kick it with my homegirls, no problem. I'd call, hey, babe, whatever. And I allowed him to do the same thing. And there were times when we would both be like, no, I'm not going, whatever. But it's not easy. A marriage is not easy. I mean, I'm divorced now, but it wasn't for lack of effort, you know what I'm saying, or anything. But like I said, like my pastor told me, there were things that I didn't learn until this age and this age. Mm-hmm. And it was like, wow, okay, so you have to know that a relationship is work. Yeah. And is that person really worth putting in that effort? Because people do change, people do grow. And I think that when we see somebody at a point, us as women, because I feel like we're these emotional people, we see things in people. Mm-hmm. And we're like, I see this in you. So you try to feed into that or encourage that. Yeah. And
so I also wanted to talk about, I've been in a relationship for 5 years, but my money's my money, his money is. We don't put it in a pot together. We don't even, he lives his home, I live in my home. My question is, his thing is like, if, once we come together, we put all the money in the same account. Do you guys agree to that? And I'll tell you my take first. I struggle with putting my money in an account with anybody. I've never been married, you know what I'm saying? And so and it doesn't matter how much you make, how much I make. I just feel like this was my take on it. I have my check and put it in my account and manage it like I've been. You do yours, but we sit down together and pay the bills together. His take, no, we put it together. What is your take?
I mean, if you're married.
Even if you're married, that's my...
I mean, even if you're married, I mean, to me, in my opinion, if you're married, you are one. And that's a trust thing. If you don't have trust,
you don't got nothing.
Nothing. I mean, that's just me.
It's true. And it's so, I hear you. And it's just that maybe for me, it's I just never, I never did it. And so that's...
Well, see, you've never done it. So that's just something, but like I said, once you build up that trust.
Yeah. But that's the way I feel like too, is like, you don't have that trust. And this is the other thing too about marriage for me, how I feel about it. Man, it was so easy to get into. Man, it was the hardest thing I ever did in my life to get out of. I was like, what? And like I did a lot of things I felt like to protect him from my mistakes. Because of course, again, I'm trying to build him because again, I guess kind of in my psyche is that the way society looks at the black man, because that's who I was married to, as a black man, so that's what I'm gonna speak from. I have an older son that is mixed.
Right.
3 of my kids are mixed if you look at it, but the oldest one was really obvious. But anyway, is that I want you to be able to build something for yourself, something for you to have to stand on no matter what. Because I feel like that's important. And I felt like that was important for my son at the time to see that too, is that a relationship where 2 people are working together to build each other.
That's right.
It's so true. It's so true. But it's women like me that I'm just being honest.
That's good. Being honest is good.
And I may need to do some soul searching, and really check myself out. I'm not blaming it on anybody. I saw my parents do that together. And I saw them, excuse my cough drop, I've been sick, but I seen them build together and I seen them come way up together and that was them, But my kids didn't have their dad in the home. It was me and my kids. And so whatever I have is for my children. But I'm always saying, but I want this good man and I want a good life. So there's a lot of women out there like me that are afraid. And I just don't know what makes me afraid if I know that it is a good man that wants to build that life with me, right? And have that one account. I don't know that I'll ever get there.
Well, then, really honestly, I mean, hey, and anybody,
You'll find somebody that respects that though too. Yeah, I think I really do think there's somebody for everybody. You'll find somebody that respects that too, and he'll allow you that time. Again, that's what I'm saying. If they truly care about you, they allow you time just like we allow them time for certain things.
If they really care, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because like I said, you like I said, you do that stuff in any relationship. Mm-hmm. Like, man, I see this in you. Okay, I'm gonna wait for this to manifest. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. Or that's how they are. And that's it. I mean, like I said, if it's a friendship, if it's, even your kids, we have these hopes and things for people that we care about, and maybe they don't live up to it.
Right.
But when you stop looking for gratification in other people and just be okay with yourself, then, like I said, you learn to love people for just what they give you.
Right. Yeah.
And you realize if you can deal with it or not.
Yeah. And so we talk about, go ahead, Delon.
Well, no, as far as like the joint accounts and the accounts, things like that. I mean, it's okay even if you wanted to have your own separate account. I'm sure as marriage is concerned, that's fine as long as he knows about it, and if he has another account, and you know about it. It's when you keep secrets and things like, I'm gonna stash this over here. We're not gonna know about it, but we got our joint.
Absolutely.
No. Like she said, you got to work into it. If he's willing to accept how you are now, maybe at the time where you guys go into the marriage, you'll be like, you know what, babe, let's go get a joint account.
Yeah, because
he's got to be willing to accept how you are. Like she said, you have to accept the person. If you want to deal with that, you deal with it. If you don't, then I don't know.
Right, because for me, I'm blatantly honest. Like, I don't have any secrets. How I feel, I'm going to say how I feel. I don't want to be with you right now. I don't know that I'll ever want that. So it's not like I'm getting him in the relationship and luring him in and then I'll throw it at him. I'm telling you what.
Right.
Hold on though. When you say that though, this whole honesty thing, I think that men have a real problem with us being blatantly honest.
And they call us overbearing for it.
I really, something, there's something that they don't like about it that they can't take. But that's what I'm saying. I'm like, if you tell me that we going to keep something 100 and I start out doing that and then all of a sudden you get in your feelings about something.
Right.
Wait a minute. I thought that you said that's what we was doing. So I think sometimes
they want it, but then they can't handle it.
That they can. That's, again, men, where you at? Because... That's how I feel that. Oh, Lord, I done dropped y'all. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, I'm like, I want to hear from the men on this.
Sometimes, some of them really can't handle our honesty. So
I want to hear from them on that for that reason. You're here. We can hear you.
Okay, there you are.
Okay.
But men are like that. They want. I mean, it's something about us being able to say exactly what's on our mind. You know what I took that as? In past relationships, I'm blatantly honest in that, and I say what I want to say, and that kind of bothers you because you're not honest. Is it that you're honest?
Right.
Yeah.
You have secrets, and why am I saying this? And but it's offending you. What are you doing? See, I have all these different thoughts in my mind that because I have a wall built up because of being hurt, and so say. Well, then you're never going to be in a relationship if you're going to keep doing that. At what point do you say, okay, I've accepted that I've been hurt in this relationship. I've accepted everything I've gone through. He's moved on with his life. I've sat here and I've wallowed in it. I've built myself back up now. Now I'm to get back out there. How far do I go? How far do I start fishing out there? And how much time do I give myself, or how much time should a person, not just a woman, but a man, give themselves before they go into a relationship? Because some people jump back into relationships because they're so hurt and they so used to be with somebody, they gotta be with somebody, so they rush into a relationship.
But some people are not used to being
or
alone.
is there no time limit?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like there's no time limit. It's when you're ready. When you're ready to let go of those certain things and you feel secure enough to do that. But like, you don't want to carry those things into that current relationship because that person may not be like that. You can't draw this picture of them. It's like you have this picture, you just drawing, oh yeah, you do this, you doing this, and we kind of premeditate things all the time because of what we went through before.
We compare it.
Until you're able to let down that wall, and if you have somebody that's willing to work with you while you letting it down, that's fine. But my thing is now I'm not trying to go into that with that wall up there. I really don't think it's fair to him to knock that wall down.
I think it's a hindrance.
Have patience.
Yeah, patience. I think it's a hindrance when we take our mess into another relationship.
That's right.
Because we're so paranoid because of what happened before. Now we're trying to be in this relationship and we're really hindering this new relationship because we're so trying to, it's almost like we're looking for him to do that.
I mean, to me, it's like,
mess up.
Right. It's like you're going, like, say, you're in a relationship, you get to the point where you're going over there and he wants to give you a little space to put your things. He didn't say, come over here with your other dude's boxes. Here's toothbrush, here's that, and putting it in that drawer. No, that's not. That wouldn't be right. So it's the same thing with your feelings and things like that. You can't take that into it, but you have to have that conversation. To me, communication is the biggest.
It's everything.
It is the biggest thing in any type of relationships.
Right. Trust and communication.
Trust and communication.
So,
yeah.
And and I also think that men, they fear telling us the truth, because of thinking that we're going to overreact.
Right.
And I think that when you go back to this maturity thing, no, I think if you tell me and you let me process some stuff, let me think, like I said, when you tell me what it is that I'm getting into, you never know if I may go along with it or not, because that may be where I'm at that point in time, you know what I'm saying, where my mental state is. But if you don't allow me that, then again, like I said, that's when we come back and look crazy. You know what I'm saying? And all that kind of stuff. And then, like I said before, I have no problem with telling somebody I'm tripolar. For a lot of different reasons.
Yeah.
So, and I own it, I'm saying, I'm a rocket, I'm saying, whatever, it is what it is. Like I said, you can call me crazy, you can think I'm going to think this, I'm going to think that, or whatever. But until you show me something different, that's what it is.
Because for me, at the end of the day, we can get through the problem so much easier if you tell me the truth. Don't worry about how I'm going to react to it. Tell me the truth and let's deal with it, because now you haven't told the truth. Now you got to figure out what you said before. And now I'm seeing you're not
right.
I want you to tell me first up front and let me deal with it like I'm going to deal with it. Don't assume I'm going to act.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway.
I mean, in my opinion, some women say that they can accept the truth. I mean, just like men, they say they can accept it, but when you give it to them, they're like, oh my God. But there are some women that say, just be honest with me. Just be honest with me. Tell me. And as soon as he's honest, I mean, it's like, we're going off. We ask him for the truth. So then that makes them say, you know what? Well, I'm not going to tell her anything because of how we react. Mm-hmm. So if we react some type of way when they do tell us the truth, it kind of like makes them like, okay, well, dang, maybe I should sugarcoat this or lie a little bit about it. A lie is a lie. Is a lie. No matter how it's given, it's still a lie. So, I just think that on both sides, some women can accept the truth, some of them can't. Some men can accept it, and some men can't.
So then we talk about our kids, right? I know for me, I still have kids in the home, and I've spoiled them to pieces, but it's always just been me and my children. So how difficult or not is it, Jolanda, to date whenever you have children, and now you've gone through a divorce, and so we're tired, we don't need no other man in here. Well, how do you handle that? Because I'm not trying to allow my kids to run my life, but they have feelings just like I have feelings. And so,
Right.
you don't
Well,
want
this is one of the things for me. I think that, like, you talk about the relationship with the father. If they've got that relationship with the father, hopefully they're seeing them on a regular basis. Again, that frees us up to be able to have some time to ourselves too. You know, my oldest is like, I don't care to meet nobody else. I don't want to do. He's like, it's your life. You do whatever. Okay, thank you. And that's how I feel, period, point blank, at the end of the day anyway, is that I'm y'all's mama. I'm going to do whatever I need to do for y'all. But I also have wants and needs, and I don't have to explain that to the 9-year-old, the 2-year-old, necessarily either, or anything like that. But they were not my husband didn't only divorce me. He divorced my kids too. And I don't think that, even though I'm not the first woman that's been divorced, it's the first time it's happened to me.
Right.
And the repercussions and the consequences that happen along with my children, because they loved him like he was, he was their dad. Even though that they even had dads, what I'm saying, or whatever, some of them did, some of them don't, because of, I got one child that his father was killed, and maybe, I have one that is involved, one that wasn't so involved at that time, but is now, thank God, and still working on the other part of it. But like I said, I don't need nobody there for them. I've got them. I've always had them.
Right.
And so I just need somebody to be there for me. So I'm not looking for a stepdaddy or nothing like that. And, I'm just looking for that male companionship, not even about sex necessarily. But, just somebody to go out and have some time with, somebody to feel like, hey, I'm beautiful with, what I'm saying, or whatever. Like I said, I'm not putting pressure on nobody. And, whatever I do have going, I enjoy it. But again, like I said, I'm not putting that pressure on nobody to do anything for my kids. Right. So when I have time to date, when I have time to link up with you for dinner, or to go to the gun range, or to go play putt-putt, whatever it is that we may decide to do, then we will link up. But other than that, I can't say anything, because they're my first priority. Because to me, at the end of the day, I'm all they got. I'm the only thing that's been consistent in their life since the day they was born.
That's right. I like that, Jolanda. I really, really like that. But I think, all mothers are just like that about their kids, but we have to know that the kids got to stay in the kids' place.
Yeah.
And stay in the adults' place. So we're getting ready to wrap up this interview. Is there anything else you guys want to share before we go? We got a couple of more minutes, and then we got to get out of here.
No, I mean, hey. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. Finish that.
I really think that we kind of covered all four corners of the box, of relationship. It just would do us really good. We're going to have a round 2, and it's going to consist of a couple of men and a woman coming on, or maybe just 2 men, since I have 2 women on this one, and then a round 3 where we have a mix of guests. So I can't wait to see part 2 and how the men feel about what we've talked about. So you guys stay tuned. Right. I want to thank you both for joining me tonight. It's been real good, a real good having me. And I just appreciate y'all.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
You're welcome, and I hope y'all have a blessed night. Remember to say your prayers. You guys that are viewing this, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and hit the bell for post notifications. Say your prayer. Everybody have a good night.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.